Mike Tyson made over $300 million during his boxing career and spent it all in just 15 years. By age 36, he was bankrupt and owed $23 million. How does this happen, and what are the mistakes that he made that translates to people who have a lot less zeros in their bank account? My name is Kevin Matthews. I'm a financial planner, and I can help you build confidence, clarity, and momentum in this economy. I'll start off by telling you about Mike Tyson and then the mistakes and the things that we can learn, because a lot of people who are my age know about him from really the 2000s and beyond. And he had a completely different life before then, because the hangover and the tattoo is what we know Mike Tyson as, and that is not his entire story. And during the 1980s, he was an absolute problem. His first 19 fights, undefeated, and 12 of them were by knockouts. A Mike Tyson fight, it didn't last long. If I'm not mistaken, a lot of them knockouts was in the first round. Right, we talking first 2 minutes or so, fight was over. All right, that is how Mike Tyson went about his business. However, things started to change in the 1990s, and that's when he ran up against Buster Douglas. That was his first L, and the tide started to turn in the 1990s. So again, the first loss was with Buster Douglas in 1990. Then he started to run into legal troubles in 1992. Then we move forward to 1997. Now this is where I started to remember Mike Tyson with the Evander Holyfield fight and him biting the ear. And this was the first quote unquote meme, before memes really became a thing, where I remembered him. And after this is when he got into even more legal problems, in that he began to sue his own management team. He initially sued for about $100 million. There was a much smaller settlement, and he used that to help pay down, at the time, a $38 million debt. Now, when you are going through legal troubles, you are perhaps going in jail, not going out of jail, you're not boxing during those times, because again, when he went through the whole Holyfield saga, he was barred from boxing. And when you can't box, you can't make any money. When your expenses are high, you got to figure out how to get that money, and a lawsuit was one of those ways. And again, to pay off a $38 million debt at the time. Now again, this is 1997. He did not file for bankruptcy until 2003. So things continued to unwind. And that was a very quick abridged history of how his career started to about where it ended from the bankruptcy perspective. You can figure out very quickly what happened between 2003 and now. That part is easy, right? But the thing is, the mistakes that he made financially absolutely altered his life, because he had to go and be in the hangover and do these random celebrity appearances. Because had he invested $300 million very early on and did what most of us probably would do, his life would be completely different today. So what were those mistakes, and how are us average people making these exact same mistakes today, and how can we avoid them? Well, here are the biggest 3 mistakes that were made. The first one, this is more of a technical term, but I'll break it down and make sure that you know exactly what it means, is asset allocation. Making sure the money that you are spending, the money that you are investing, are in assets, in places that make sense. Now, when I say that, it means for us, right, I don't want to have 100% of my money in my house. Why is that? Like, my home can be an asset. I can eventually sell it, but it's not liquid, right? I need to have cash. I need to have an emergency fund. It would make sense for me to have some stocks, because I can sell those in case of emergency, right? I don't want my stocks to be my emergency fund. That's what cash is for. But I want stocks and bonds. I want real estate. I want cash. There's 3 different ways that I can allocate, right? Spread my money. Well, Mike Tyson didn't do that when he had the bulk of his cash. For instance, he had 2 mansions. A lot of his money was in real estate, very similar to Floyd Mayweather, very similar to 50 Cent at that point in time when we had talked about that. What did Mike Tyson have a lot of his money in? Well, he had 19 supercars. 19. Like, having one nice car, I'm with it. Having 2, fine. Having 3, hey man, you got a lot of money, you're a celebrity. Fine, you got 1 nice car for very special events, 1 car that you just use every day, maybe a third one that you're trying to stunt. But 19, that's a lot. Now you could argue, I'm a car collector, these are assets. fine. But again, those assets are not liquid. And we'll get to the second part of why that is an issue too. The next part, he invested a lot in his mansions, plural. Spent a lot of money on that. And when you have not one but two, you had one in Connecticut that was over 20 rooms, and then another in Ohio. That's a lot of your money spent in very illiquid assets, very hard to get rid of, and very expensive to insure in and of itself. Whereas it might have made more sense, right? An alternative here is, okay, fine. Let me get one piece of real estate, or let me get something that is going to be income generating, right? We didn't have Airbnb back then, but maybe it's a rental property or several rental properties. Maybe it's a hotel. Maybe it's buying some stocks, buying a REIT, something that's bringing in money and appreciates a lot faster than a mansion that's likely collecting dust, because you can only live in one place at a time. For us regular people, a lot of what I see, especially when I'm breaking down someone's net worth, we see a ton of money that is only in a 401k. 401ks are fine. There's no beef there. What it does say, though, is that you may not be as flexible and you may not be as efficient from a tax perspective. Meaning, if I want to retire before 59 and a half, I would have to pay a penalty if all of my money is there. I may want to start investing in a Roth now. Something to pay attention to, right? It also means that if all my money is in real estate and all my wealth is in my home now, I definitely want to consider what is that going to look like retirement wise. I definitely need to invest more in the stock market so I can have more flexibility, right? Look and see what your asset allocation is. Where is your wealth concentrated? Do you like where it is, or do you need to start to shift things around? So that's just one thing to consider for the asset allocation piece. The other piece of it is maintenance. Where are your assets and what does it cost to maintain? That is extremely, extremely important. So in the case of Mike Tyson, he had a bill for $300,000 just for yard maintenance on one of his properties. Now, if you account for inflation, I think that's well over double, so close to $600,000 in today's money. But $300,000 in just yard maintenance alone. Imagine what it would be to maintain 19 cars. 19 cars. Now, you might be thinking, well, yard maintenance for me, right, is not all that much money. That's fine, but it is something that does add up. I know for me in 2022, it was like $300 a month to get my yard cut. I just said, hey, look, I'm just cutting my own yard. And that's what I do currently. But the maintenance cost and fees for certain things do add up. It's why I'm not going to own a Mercedes-Benz. It's just, can I afford it? Yeah. I'm not going to pay that much to get my oil changed. I will stick with whatever is cheap to get done, right? Ford, Lexus, Toyota, stuff like that, right? Probably more with the Toyota, right, than a Ford, because Ford be breaking down. But you guys get the point here, right? Look at what it's going to cost to maintain certain things, because you get it, it's like, great, this is a good thing for me to have, but then you realize that, wait a minute, it's costing me more every single year, and it might be running you ragged, especially if you have a career field that doesn't last as long, something like boxing, something in the athletic field. That's something that can hurt you in the long run, and is absolutely something that did hurt him. And then the last one, and this is something that gets me, and it definitely gets all of us, is you don't want to buy more than what you need to impress people that you don't know, right? Everybody at some point does like nice things, and I don't besmirch someone who wants nice things. So I didn't say, well, he shouldn't have had a nice house, or he shouldn't have a nice car. I said, it's fine to have 3, which is a lot for one person to have. But in either case, though, did you really need 19 cars? And it's not to shame Mike Tyson for something he did well over 20 years ago. It's done now, okay? But in either case, the main point of it is you want to sit down internally and say, what is it that I like to do? What's going to make me happy? If I bought something for myself and nobody knew that it happened, would I still be excited about it? Would it still matter to me? If it were never in the newspaper, would it still be fun for me? And I say newspaper because these things happened in the 90s. In either case, though, like if he bought this house in Ohio, got a mansion in Ohio, nobody knew about it, would he have still been happy about that? Or if it had 10 bedrooms and not 20, would that have still made him excited? If so, get the smaller one, cut the yard maintenance bill in half, and your money may have lasted twice as long. Would it have made you happy just to have 5 cars in rotation instead of 19? Things like that, because you may be spending way more money than you need to be impressing other people. That might not make sense. Like for me, I think we all have a social pressure at times to do other things, to buy other things. I have mentioned this before. I have a car, it's in 2008 and it's got 160 something thousand miles on it. I mean, I could get a new car. It does not have Bluetooth. It still plays CDs, it plays the radio. Do I need to buy a new car? No. Like I would enjoy it, but like who am I impressing? I'm already married. My kids don't care. Nobody rides in my car. So it's not like who am I looking to impress, and why would I want a car payment in this economy? Like I don't need to put that pressure on myself and now, increase my bills when I don't have to. Like that's a lesson that not all of us heed today. But sometimes we feel the pressure like, hey, I've hit a certain level. I need to now go and get this extra thing. When in actuality, you might not, depending on what it is. So pay attention to those 3 things and ask yourself, like, do I actually need this, or is there some social pressure that I feel like I need to go out and reach and do these things when I might not? If what you have is totally fine, you might want to stick with that and keep your maintenance costs down. You want to learn more about personal finance, money, and everything in between, you want to check out these videos right here.